The last flight of Flight 350.
On time, the DC-8 took off from Fukuoka Airport for the short domestic flight to Tokyo Haneda. Tokyo's weather was bad, with light rain and low clouds. At 20:45 local time, during final approach to Haneda's runway 33, the captain suddenly took abnormal actions. Disengaging the autopilot was 35-year-old Captain Seiji Katagiri, who was suffering from mental illness and was later diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. The thrust reversers on two of the engines were then deliberately engaged while the aircraft was still in flight. At a low altitude, the aircraft came to a stop. The aircraft rapidly descended, despite the flight engineer and first officer's desperate attempts to regain control. About 300 meters short of the runway threshold, it crashed into Tokyo Bay. When it came into contact with the shallow waters, the DC-8 split into three main sections. The majority of the aircraft survived long enough for the survivors to flee. Out of 174 people on board, 24 passengers were killed, while 150 survived, many with injuries. The official investigation found that Captain Katagiri engaged in reverse thrust during approach with the intention of causing the crash. Acts of the crew, the captain's actions were overruled by the first officer and flight engineer, who tried to prevent the crash but were unable to stop the rapid loss of control at such a low altitude. Medical background. Katagiri had a known history of mental illness and had been diagnosed with schizophrenia prior to the accident. Despite this, he had been granted permission to resume active duty as a pilot after passing a few tests. Japan Airlines and regulators faced criticism for failing to adequately assess his fitness for duty. Katagiri survived the crash and was rescued. He was arrested but declared legally insane, and therefore not held criminally responsible. He was committed to a psychiatric hospital instead of prison. Industry changes. The accident highlighted the importance of pilot mental health screening. It led to stricter medical and psychological fitness evaluations for pilots in Japan and influenced global aviation standards. Japan Airlines Flight 350 crashed at Haneda due to the deliberate actions of its captain, who was mentally ill. It remains one of the rare instances of an intentional airliner crash caused directly by the captain.